Hey everyone, happy Friday. Hope your week's been great. Lots of updates today. So I'm going to jump right in. We are experiencing some cases of kennel cough. Some that we're not sure if originated from our hospital, if the dog got it here, or others where we are assuming that we've seen from other boarding facilities. Regardless of where a pet contracts the disease, I just wanted to give you guys some education and the right information. I know we talked about this in our video update last week as well. It's really, really important that we are on the lookout for these coughing dogs. They are not permitted into our boarding area. We want to make sure that we educate clients before they arrive. If we have pets who are coming into our hospital to be treated, we want to make sure that we isolate those pets as best possible. So don't having them wait in the lobby. Have them wait in the car until it's their appointment time. Or if it's a luxury, go ahead and get them immediately into an exam room. We need to make sure that we take the appropriate action to educate owners as well. So I'm going to attach a video by Dr. Patrick as well that we're going to be sending to our pet owners, especially those coming into the resort before boarding. We're approaching our busier boarding season, so we want to kind of nip this in the bud, and so we'll be telling owners what we do for precautions, what they can do, and what we will allow in our boarding and not. So I want to make sure that y'all watch the same video that starting next week we're going to be emailing to our clients. So thanks, Dr. Patrick, for doing that too. I also have an update from Dawn regarding our NF foods. I wanted you to be aware that now NF comes in two varieties, kind of like the EN does. So there's NF Advanced Care. That's going to be most similar to how NF is formulated now. It's going to have a lower protein and lower phosphorus level, and it'll come in all the same package varieties that it does now. Then there is the Early Care. This is for pets who may have an early detection of disease, that we maybe are picking up on those SDMA profiles. And so this one actually is kind of designed with the younger pet in mind, who's not in the advanced stages of that kidney disease. So it's going to have an adequate protein level, but still a lower phosphorus level. And again, those packages will be clearly marked. We've been holding that new product, the Early Care, back, just trying to sell our existing packaging before we switch to the two diversely packaged products. But I think we're almost there, so I wanted you to be aware of the two different formulas. So if you had a pet who was coming in and who had been on the NF before it was divided into two lanes there, you're going to go ahead and put them on the Advanced Care because, again, it's the most similar formulation. The other would be for newly diagnosed pets, and the doctors will direct when that should happen. I also wanted to say welcome to some of our new hires. We have some new faces around, some for the past few weeks, and some are brand new. So just to name them off, welcome to Ashley Nolan, Holly Hunt, Natalie Duval, Taylor Fisher, Caitlin Coker, Ben Acock, Jordan Moore, Brianna Beasley, Nay Hester, Maddie Moe, Cassie Williamson, and Amber Giese. So that's a whole lot of new team members, and that brings me to my point. We not only want to have our existing team welcome those people and recognize that they're new, but there should be a lot of training going on and some onboarding. So I will be expecting to see lots of helpfulness, lots of direction, patience especially, with all of our new faces that we have around. Melinda and Drew are doing a great job leading at the resort and getting a lot of the new team members who are going to be residing there onboarded and trained in their position as we prepare for the summertime. So it's always helpful for our hospital team, if they ever have time, to go and offer a hand there. And especially to pull those team members over whenever there's any training opportunity. So just a quick reminder for that. Also, I wanted to talk really quickly about some changes to where we keep our prescription pads. So this is a prescription pad. We've often kept them in the doctor's office, but as we prepare for our AHA evaluation, Danielle's brought up some points of some new standards that we want to be compliant with. So now I want to start keeping, in accordance with the AHA standard, the prescription pads in the controlled drug lockbox. So they will no longer be in the one-item drawer. Doctors will be the ones who have access to those. You can get a script out when you need them. And if it's a customer care team member who would have regularly accessed the prescription pad through the one-item drawer, you can get access by just side noting the lab nurse each day. They'll get in touch with the doctor and get that prescription out. So that's where we'll keep our stock of them, and I will work closely with the doctors to make sure that when there's just one pad remaining, that we go ahead and add those to the reorder list so that we can keep them in stock here. Okay, so the next thing that I wanted to get into was talking about another AHA standard that I realized that we weren't quite compliant on, but something that we definitely can easily do. And that is our prescription lids. So this is a prescription vial. And typically when you go to open it, it's got the child-proof cap, so you're going to push down and turn. And on the inside, you'll see this clear plastic piece that looks like this. It fits right inside the lid, and it's automatically there. But to make these easy open, all you have to do is use some hemostats and actually pull this clear plastic piece out. I actually just used my desk scissors and really carefully just pried it right out. It didn't take but a second, and then once it gets put back on the lid, it becomes easy to twist, or you can just pop it off, but it securely snaps on. That's what converts this to being easy open. But I caught wind that we're actually, when clients are requesting an easy open type of packaging, putting them in Ziploc bags. That's not ideal. I would only use a Ziploc bag for dispensing syringes if a client needed them to be easy open. Otherwise, you just remove this plastic lid. The other part of the standard, besides making sure that we package them correctly, is making sure that we document when a client requests easy open prescriptions, and we package them that way. That way, if there was any kind of accident, we're not at fault for inappropriately packaging the medication. The owners had requested it, we documented it, and we did exactly what they said. So I made a glossary in the client notes area of the glossary for easy open packaging, so that you can quickly just put a note with the prescription that the client requested that, and against our best advice, we packaged it that way. So they kind of just waived our liability rather to the child-proofed lids. So all you would do is when a client requests that, sometimes we're putting in alerts that a client requests it, but each time you just go to the prescription, right-click notes, paste a date time stamp, and then the glossary for the easy dispensing. It all goes right there for you. You would do it for each prescription you packaged that way. It shouldn't take any more time than the way that we're doing it now, but it's accurate and it's the safest way to do that. If you need a quick lesson on how to remove those or how to use the glossary, myself and Danielle Petrie were happy to help you. All right, so the next thing is that this week we added Convenia injections to all the dentistry estimates, but an estimate doesn't automatically correct for the right weight. So to the estimates for cats, we added a 10-pound Cerenia dose, and the estimates for dogs, a 20 to 50. So you would need to make sure that you adjust the estimate based on the right weight range for that pet before you actually printed it and shared it with an owner. But they're in there at 100% variance to give you the best idea of the cost that those are going to be, because we're finding that the majority of the time that we're using it. So again, those are in all of the estimates so that we can most accurately give an owner an idea of the price. The other cool thing in relation to Convenia, as well as some other products, is we're finally ready to start our new rebate program for Zoetis products. So some of the popular Zoetis products that we use that you would know of and that qualify for these rebates are like Simparica, ProHeart, Revolution, and Convenia. They also have Rimadyl on their map, but we don't really carry that. However, if a client was using that and purchasing it through our online pharmacy, there's a rebate for it too, so you'd be able to direct them there. So let me tell you how this rebate works. It's not just a tear-off pad anymore where we would send that home with the owner and it's all on their own. It could be, except for our company name shows up as Silver Lining Holdings instead of just Lafayette Veterinary Care Center. And also, we're finding that pet owners aren't always as compliant with the rebates as we want them to be. And this program offers a win-win solution, so we really want to help pet owners with it. What happens is, depending on what type of purchase that they're meaning, usually what quantity or the expense that they incur, they're going to earn points. Well, I'm going to call it money because that's exactly what it is. So if an owner, for example, does a first injection of ProHeart, that's 50 points or $5. So a Convinia, since that's what we were just talking about adding to our dentistry, a Convinia injection for 20 to 30 pound dog is 100 points or $10. A 50 pound dog is 300 points or $30. What happens is they pay upfront regular cost for whichever of these products that I just described they have incurred an expense for. Then what we will do is we will quickly log in, make them a profile, and request a debit card. The debit card will come to them by mail, and anytime that they then go back in and make this purchase, money gets loaded on the debit card. They can only use the debit card here at LVCC. So we kind of win and they win because they're going to get money off of their next visit that they would use for any expense. They can use it towards services, they can use it towards product, anything. So it's pretty simple. I will upload another video next week to walk you through the exact steps on how to do that. What we've done in the meantime is we've started the process for making it really easy for all of our team, nurses, resort team members, customer care team members, to know exactly which products and to have reminders within Avamark on which will qualify for the rebates. So for example, we said we added the Convinia to those dental estimates. Well, we also added a tag-along item that's going to remind both the client and our team that Convinia injection qualifies for a rebate. So it'll prompt us to help the client at the end of their visit at checkout to start the process of receiving that rebate. And it would also remind for future purchases that you would say to the client, hey, this qualifies for a rebate. I see you have a Zoetis card. You should expect this balance if you just go and upload your invoice now. So that's the final step on how they submit it, is that they just have to take a picture of their invoice and upload it. It can all be done from a smartphone. Or I'm going to try and get it set up on all the desktops so that you can easily do it for them. It'll take an extra minute, but again, the client wins instantly and so do we. So look out for that video on how to do that. And if you see that line item before you see the video, you know that that's going to be something that can come. We have some little tear-off pads, and then we've got these laminated sheets that tell you which products that they are that we're going to put everywhere. Okay. So the next thing that we have to share is that we have a record called Conscientious Pet Owner that a lot of our existing team members know about. And for whatever reason, we're seeing a lot of items left unposted and some posted in that area. That Conscientious Pet Owner is really just a practice record. It's not for too much else. So I think what's happening is we're going in that record and we're kind of playing around with things, and it's causing some issues with inventory and with our statement processing because nobody who's putting anything in seems to be taking it back out after when we're done practicing. So what I would suggest is if you want to, if you need an area to practice, or if you want to run an estimate, that you look at our pre-made, our canned estimate area so that you can get an idea of what that typical cost is instead of feeling like you have to assign it to a patient. Or if you want a new estimate made, just make sure that you ask us for that. And you can give it to us in any kind of format. Worklist message would work great. That way we can get you what you need instead of you having to go to that Conscientious Pet Owner area and do it. And then also just remember that we don't do any kind of sales from that record. You really just have to take a moment to make a client a record, whether they're buying a candle or a bag of treats or having a service done. Everybody needs a record. We like to have that just for continuity and for recall of past visits and so on. So we don't want to skimp on that process at all. Okay, that's my update for this week. Make sure that you look for the other attachments like Dr. Patrick's video, the video on how to process the rebates. Everybody needs to watch those things because it's really important, and it's taken a village anymore, so we all have to be pretty astute on all the processes. If you have any questions, come and find me. I'm here to help. Hope you guys have a great weekend.